like in the hydration section, supplementation is key in preparation. It's not so much what you have, it's being able to sort of be prepared ahead of time and then get the maximum benefit by using sort of the minimal effective dose, which is the key, right? So most people, when they wake up and do their morning routine, or just wake up in general, most people are a little bit tired or fatigued. I think if you look at the meridian wheel, our most kidney energy, our energy is 3 or later in the afternoon, 3 to 7. So from that 5 to 7 in the morning, our kidney energy is usually about the lowest. So our kidney energy supplies our vitality, our feeling of energetic. So if we wake up sort of less energized, the one of two things people usually do, they usually don't do anything because they're tired, right? Or they take caffeine to get going. So we're going to use Qigong as our movement method to sort of activate and stimulate first some energy. But a lot of times, just to get going, we can take something. Again, if you don't need any caffeine, if you don't need any supplements, by all means, don't add this if you're not doing it. If you're already doing something, you can reduce it and implement this strategies instead. So for me, when I wake up first thing in the morning, I pee, like we said, drink that 20 ounces of water with electrolytes. And I will usually have some sort of light green tea energy and then go right into my workout. So clearly, if I'm taking these capsules of green tea extract, which has a cup, about half a cup's worth of coffee energy, if you're going to look at it like that, so it's about half a cup of coffee, so it's not a huge jolt of energy, but it's green tea extract. And this has a little theanine in it too. So these two I take, you could probably take one or the other. I take them both. I get up at 4:30 and do the workout, right? By the time these kick in, I've probably already done my workout, to be honest, right? The first 30 minutes. They don't kick in probably for 30 minutes, but the psychology of me drinking the water, the electrolytes, putting this in my mouth, and then going and do the exercises allows me sometimes mentally to feel like I'm prepared to have energy afterwards, even though I'm the one creating the energy through the movement and the practice, and this just gives a little. It allows me psychologically on those days to sometimes get going, knowing that afterwards I won't be tired, even though I won't be tired anyways because of the routines we're designing for us. But sometimes we need that extra psychology, the mind-body connection. So for me, wake up, pee, like I said, drink 20 ounces of water with electrolytes in it, and I'll take green tea capsules. You can take these or any kind, there's nothing special. You can look it up, okay? But that's to get the morning going, the morning routine. For instead of just caffeine, for people who like caffeine, but we want to balance out that edginess a little bit, these are different versions that you can take sort of throughout the day as we want to minimize our caffeine, to a reasonable amount. So these are both caffeine and theanine. So if caffeine's your thing, if you don't take caffeine, don't even consider adding caffeine. That's not necessary. If you're already a caffeine user, we're just trying to be better at our approach. So this is 50 milligrams of caffeine and 100 of theanine. So it's always a 2-to-1 of caffeine to theanine, usually when it's pre-designed. So I also have theanine separate. So we just need to take a theanine. Theanine and caffeine work really well together. Caffeine, of course, is the energy. Theanine is the mental clarity. So sometimes we get too wired from caffeine, so less caffeine, and with caffeine with theanine keeps us clear, and we don't want to get too wired because we know we're going to have to do our check-ins all day long. And if we get too amped up and crash, our day goes to crap. So we don't want to crash. We want to stay slightly elevated and then recover, slightly elevated and recover. So this is a 100 milligrams of caffeine with 200 theanine, and this is 50 and 100. So this is half of this, right? It's good to have these in the house. You can have them as part of your routine if you so need them, or just have them on a day you're kind of dragging late, the kids are getting home, you're tired. Just a 50 sometimes is just enough to keep the energy going to be able to do the stretches and the routines that you need to do. So again, if you're not taking caffeine for any of these supplements, you don't need to add them. If you're already doing things that maybe these could be a healthier version, this is our supplementation strategy. We're supplementing better versions than we were doing before. Okay, so if focus and memory, I'm not promoting the supplement or this company, but I take Alpha Brain a lot. When I do work, when I do filming, when I do preparing, this is non-stimulant, right? So no caffeine, and it's pretty natural. But again, do your research if you want. You can look at similar things. Honestly, just ginkgo biloba I take sometimes too. Ginkgo is a natural, almost better version of this. Or I take lion's mane. So lion's mane is an herb, or a Chinese herb, which is a mushroom. It uses both, right? It's used in China. It's a mushroom. So lion's mane helps with mental clarity. Ginkgo biloba is also, right, Chinese. It helps with mental clarity. Those are real simple one ingredient things. Those are the best way to start. If you need something a little bit more, alpha brain every now and again has a little more ingredients, but they're supposed to be a little more natural. But again, it's not stimulating, so you're not going to crash from any of those things I listed. Lion's mane, ginkgo biloba, or alpha brain. And I would go in that order. Ginkgo biloba and lion's mane are a little bit easier, less ingredients. This would be a little bit more complex, but a good payoff, okay? And we incorporate these in specific times of the day, or as we can have sort of the break glass if needed, right? We can have the case where like we're just tired today, we're dragging, I'm gonna pull out this caffeine, or I need to really focus and I'm tired, so I'll add this, right? These are simple things that can add into a routine and yet still stay within our templates. They don't blow us out. We're not going and getting 20 ounces of coffee or an energy drink, because that gives us a huge rush, but then it's also a huge crash. And we don't want that. We want to stay balanced and harmonious, right? Clear. So if it comes to like working out, even if it's simple, I'm not saying this brand, but you can just, this is at Walgreens, this is at Walmart, it's everywhere, so it's not fancy. It's arginine, which is a little bit, the other day in the video, I showed you the drinking hydration. I drink arginine, and sometimes I take the capsules too, and before I do my strength training workout. So this gives me at least that feeling of adding a little bit of a pump without any of the, it's not creatine, it's not anything that has caffeine in it, like the pre-workout drink. So it's just basically one ingredient, right? Or some version of arginine and citra. So it's simple and gives me a little bit of a pump when I'm working out, but again, there's no crash from it. So that's the key. We're picking things that work well for us, work well for our systems, and keep us in the system. In the morning, again, you could do this, or any time of day. Morning is usually the best. This is ginseng, right? So any version of ginseng, find a healthy, safe version that you like, because they come from everywhere. So if you want to do your research, but ginseng, another simple sort of energy boosting ingredient that's healthy in your long term. It's an adaptogen. So like caffeine, if you take, let's say, 100 milligrams every single day, usually just in like coffee, by the end of the week or a month or a year, that impact from that is less to you. Your system adapts. With adaptogens, our system adapts positively, so we get better and better and better from it. So this is more like building up, whereas taking caffeine all the time is more like chipping away. So that's why we want the ginseng or cordyceps, which is really good too in the morning. So I take cordyceps or ginseng sometimes if I need it. And these are non-stimulant, long-term adaptogens that help build my energy and not chip away at it, which is key if we want to feel good all day long, right? In the afternoon, sometimes when the family gets home, stress starts to settle in. Maybe it's just one of those, everyone comes back, or it could be work or whatever, but just in the afternoon for me, sort of from the 3 p.m. on to dinner time, depending, 3, 6, just, it depends. Stress is kicking in a little bit. Again, I said reishi, right? So this is another adaptogen. So it's not a sedative, but it's very simple. It helps you adapt to the stress that's around. So you can get those in capsules or powder. I just stir it in a warm drink and drink it. So it helps me get my hydration as well. And like I said, same with that, warm water, calm drink. It's just magnesium, right? One ingredient, magnesium. So it helps calm us down. So again, in the morning, simple energy like ginseng and cordyceps, or even if we have caffeine, balance it with theanine. Throughout the day, lion's mane, keep our brain sharp, ginkgo biloba or alpha brain. And then in the evening, if we need to calm down, reishi and the calm drink, magnesium. These are all natural. Notice how soothing this is on your system. And it's not that we need to add all this stuff in, but if we're already doing things and filling in, we're just trying to do better than. So if we were before doing a big coffee, now we can do better than caffeine and theanine, right? If we had no, or just a little bit of caffeine, we want to pull off of that, we can have the ginseng and the cordyceps, right? So these are ways that we can incorporate into our cycles, into our templates, and into our journal very easily. And the more often we do it, we get an idea of continuity. How do we feel? Okay, I did this at this time, I did this at this time, here's how I felt. And the more we can study how we feel from things with continuity in supplementation and nutrition and exercise and movement, we start to build an understanding of our own template and database. And with this web of matrix that we see, this continuity, now we can start to make adjustments and start to balance ourselves out so that we feel mostly energized or recovered all day long. And that's the key. We want to feel good because it feels good to feel good.